Hey guys, Chris Superfast RC, and today I'm going to be talking about getting started in RC. How do you do it? I mean, what do you buy? What do you need? I mean, what if you're looking at this as far as a Christmas gift? I mean, what exactly are you going to need to get that car running so that your 13-year-old has something to do on Christmas Day? 13-year-old's a little old, maybe like 8 is when I would probably get started if you're going to get somebody started in this. But yeah, just basic stuff you need, what kits I would buy, and how to do it. So here we go. First off, there's a lot of things in RC that you're gonna wanna avoid as a first timer. I think, at least in my experience, the super cheap Amazon.com, or what is it, Banggood? Dude, that's a freaking funny name, man. But that kind of, those cars, I wouldn't touch them. And the reason is, I mean, yeah, they can be fun, but you're not gonna be able to buy parts for them locally. I mean, if you break apart and you live in Dallas, Texas, there's probably 5 hobby shops in Dallas, Texas that stock nothing but Traxxas, associated parts, stuff like that. They're not gonna stock your, WL Toys or stuff like that. They're not going to, and you're gonna have a bad day. So what I'm actually gonna say is go name brand. It's a little bit more expensive up front, but in the end, it's gonna come out better. I mean, you're gonna be able to upgrade, get, parts. Thousands of companies make parts for a Traxxas Stampede, a Rustler, or E-Revo Mini. What's it called? The Mini E-Revo, the MERV. That's actually a terrible car. Don't get that for your first car. It's way too hard to drive. But Traxxas Stampede parts, and you can get parts for days at the Stampede. And also a great vehicle. That's what I started out on. This thing right here. Let me tell you, the amount of fun you can have with this truck is really unlimited. This is the old version. This is the one I started out with, albeit with the red body. That's kind of my upgraded Stampede, and I'll show you that in a minute too. So basically, to get started, I would recommend, a Traxxas vehicle, a team associated, something like a Rival MT, something not totally expensive. Arma makes a great truck, the Granite. I would go with a truck. I wouldn't go with the buggy. You can get like, what is it, the Raider, the Arma Raider. Just a little low slung. The Bandit's also a good buggy, but for somebody that's getting started in RC, they're gonna wanna jump, and you just rip around, blast around. And to get something like that, you need to have a little bit of ground clearance. That's what I like to call it. So get something a little taller. A Stampede is a great option. I think the best, really, first RC option. You can go with the mini stuff, but I think 10th scale is a good place to start. It's big enough. It's where you can really, jump some cool stuff, have some fun. You can make them stupid fast with upgrades, especially these days with brushless being as cheap as it was. It is. It wasn't cheap back then. Oh Lord, when I got started in RC, let's see, I have one of these motors right here. This is a Hacker C50 10-turn, C40 10-turn. This motor was outrageously expensive back in the day. I think it was probably like 150 bucks. Then you got to add another 150 bucks for speed control. It wasn't cheap. So the advent of the Hobby Wing, Castle Creations, and even Novak to an extent brought that down. So these days you can get a fully brushless powered VXL truck for 270 bucks without a battery, of course. But that's another thing I need to talk about is batteries. So most, these the Traxxas stuff, you can buy a model that comes with a battery, and what's going to come with is something like this. It's a NIMPAC 3,000 milliamp hour. It's going to come with a little dumb wall wart charger to charge it up. It's going to take probably 5 hours to charge it. It'll work. Is it the best option? No, it's not. What I would do is I would get something like if you're going to use the stock NIMPAC, get a cheap peak charger. They make a peak charger that looks exactly like this that does NIM. This is a Lipo life only, but it's very similar. It's probably like 30, 40 bucks. Get that. That's a good place to start. It's going to charge your battery probably within an hour, at least on the factory NIM battery. So what I would do, if I was getting something for a kid, give them a Stampede, get them a Rustler. Stay away from the Bandit for your first one unless they really know what they want and they want a Bandit. But get something like this, get an associated car like a Rival, or something that they got. I'm not really that versed in their RTR stuff, their radio stuff. I mean, the racing stuff is great, but here's another option from Traxxas Slash. If they're interested in racing at all, I mean, you can race with a Stampede. There's really no class for it, but you can have a blast going around a track with a Stampede. That's the first time I was on a track. I went with my Stampede, which I'll show you here in a minute what I have for track running on a Stampede. But as far as racing with class and getting started, you cannot go wrong with the Traxxas Slash 2-wheel drive. This is the low center gravity version, but you know, there's a class for it most times. Short course, 2-wheel drive short course, you know, the beginning RC class. You can race with this truck and be very successful with it. So Slash is also a very good option. Not as fun as a basher. I mean, you're not going to break a lot of parts just because the body is so big and so, you know, when stuff hits it, it just kind of has a tendency to bounce off. But yeah, that's a more durable platform than the Stampede, to be honest, even though it's still the same basic platform the Traxxas has had for years. Here's something you might want to avoid. Like I said earlier, this is a little Chinese knockoff. This is a Hobby King Vandal. Good little buggy, but you know, not a lot of replay value, I guess, if I could call it something. You know, you drive it a couple times and it's just kind of like, oh, okay, that's it, all right. And it just goes back and gets to start collecting dust. So stay away from stuff like that. Can't get parts for it either. Fancier stuff like the Stampede 4x4. Yeah, the brush models, all right. The brushless models, just I think it's a little bit more of a handful for a first-time driver. Any of the VXL stuff, I'd kind of shy away from out of the box. It's just gonna end up broke because it's stupid fast. I mean, it's great. I love it, but it's just too fast for a beginner. So go with the brush stuff. Go with the Titan 12 turn and the XL5. You can't go wrong with it. So if you want to do Stampede 4x4, you can. It's a little bit less. I think it's durable, but I would just think it's more easy to work on a 2-wheel drive for somebody that's just starting out. And I think it's just better, and it's cheaper too. There's a lot more moving parts on that 4x4 Stampede. And with the brushed motor, you're gonna risk burning that motor out pretty quick running in tall grass. But with the 2-wheel drive stuff, man, all day long, you're not gonna have an issue with it, especially with the ventilated motor. Okay, what was I gonna talk to you about next? Oh yeah. So if you go with a stock Stampede, 2-wheel drive Stampede, all my stuff's old, and it's fine because it's still the same basic platform. Ow, sticker burr hurt, man. Anyways, so this is a base stock Stampede, just like that one over there. What I've done is I went to upgrade it, put a little Hobby Wing Easy Run E-Type ESC and a little no-name brushless motor in there. This whole setup, brushless setup, probably cost around 70 bucks. And it gives a little bit more power than stock, but not much. You're going to want to get, you know, nice performance out of it. You're going to want to put a Metal Gear transmission in there. I think they all come with that now. Pretty sure, actually. Don't worry about that. Aluminum caster blocks. That's going to be a big thing. If you're going to buy one of these for your son or grandson on Christmas Day, I would also include in the package of aluminum caster blocks, because it's going to break on a Stampede. It's just, it will. They're going to jump something, break a caster block, and that's going to be a bad day. So go with put a set of aluminum caster blocks in there with it, and you really won't have to worry about much after that, because that's all it's going to break. Hub carriers, you might want to go with the bigger hub carriers eventually with the 5x11 bearings. They're just going to work a little better for you. And because the bushings, I think they include 5x11 millimeter bushings now. They used to be 5x8. They didn't last very long at all. But the 5x11 stuff's going to last a little longer. Even the bushings will. So you can go that route. But then you just swap bearings in there. Really cheap upgrade. You know, maybe 20 bucks. Get you a set of bearings and be rolling nice and smooth. Wheelie bar, you can get, this is the Swami RC one. It's a great wheelie bar. You can get the Traxxas one. I hate it because it's always popping loose and flapping around, but yeah, wheelie bar is a nice thing to have once you get that brushless power in there. Really don't have to worry about it with the brush power. It doesn't really wheelie, but it's fast, but not enough low end to really wheelie a lot. That shock's leaking a little bit, but it's old, so. Anyways, so that's my mildly upgraded Stampede. I have a blast with it. I love it. It's absolutely perfect for me, what I do. So, Yeah, that's what I think about when I think of, you know, the perfect first RC, Traxxas Stampede, Arma Grant, 2-wheel drive. Let's see. Stuff to stay away from. 4-wheel drive buggy. Just not a great platform for a newbie. 2-wheel drive buggy, it's just, you know, they can be super durable, but they're really meant for a track, man. On-road car, if you're super into like race cars and on-road stuff, yeah, that's kind of okay, but it's not a lot of fun, man. Jumping stuff's a lot of fun, and that's just the way I think it should be. So, you know, you could go with like something like a Traxxas Max, but dang, man, that thing's $500 without a battery. That's not cool. I mean, back in the day, we went with the E-Max. Terrible first car. I mean, that thing breaks all over the place. You drive it, you know, off the wrong edge, and it lands on its lid and it breaks. You know, I thought, oh man, I'm gonna get it. I had the Stampede. I'm gonna order an E-Max, so I saved up my money, ordered me an E-Max, got it, drove it, hit a pole, game over. Back to the Stampede for a while. So. I've covered batteries, radios. Generally, it's going to come with your RTR. Today, you're going to get something like this. It's a basic Traxxas TQ. You're not even going to get the TQI. You're going to get the TQ, which you just don't have the Bluetooth capability with the TQ. But it's the same basic radio. Feels the same. Great radio. Lasts a long time. It's got great range. Good radio for an RTR. Getting started. So, done that. Tools. You know, on an RTR, you're going to get something like this. Gonna be your basic set of tools. Comes with some L wrenches, stuff like that. This is for a TLR, but it's gonna work fine for you. And in the future, if you know you want to get something nicer, go with, you know, like the MIP stuff. You really don't even go that nice. Go with the Dynamite stuff. Dynamite, so you can get the same basic set with metrics from Dynamite for $20. This would run you around 50. So yeah, go with the Dynamites. I think that's good. Those are definitely great. So spare parts you want to have around, you might keep, you know, a pair of front arms. Like I said, the caster blocks, aluminum caster blocks, really save you some headache. Lipo. Let's talk Lipo. Okay, so out of the box, you're gonna get this. Probably it works great for newcomers to RC because you really don't have to balance it. It's pretty safe chemistry. It's not going to really explode on you. It can, but it's not common. Lipos, you're going to want to go with something like this. Now, this is a Venom 5020C. You're going to get this from pretty much every major hobby store carries something like this. This can be perfect for something like a Traxxas Stampede or a Wrestler or anything in that, even an E-Max or E-Revo. E-Revo, great car. Don't buy it as your first RC. Trust me. Great car though. I mean, I love it. It's absolutely, you know, fantastic fun. But something like this would be great too. And the only thing about Lipos, you're gonna have to have that fancy charger. I mean, they've gotten a lot cheaper nowadays, but you're gonna have to have the balancing charger and make sure you know what you're doing. And also, make sure you have the Lipo sack or something like an ammo case, just in case they like to go boom. Man, I don't know what it is about Lipos, but whew, you get oxygen and that cell gets opened up, or you over amp it, it's gonna go boom. You're having a bad day. Have a Lipo sack. So if you want to go super cheap on a charger, you can get one of these little balancing chargers. I think this is like $5 or $6, man. Back in the day, and it takes forever. This is a DC input of 12 volt, 16 volt. Max output's 1.2 amps, and I bet that 1.2 amp output is on like a 2-cell. 3-cell, it goes up to 3-cell, you're gonna get a lot less amperage, probably half that. It's gonna take forever, probably more time than it's worth, but if you wanna go Lipo, it has that extra punch. Even with the brushed motor, you're gonna get extra punch with the Lipo. So you can go that route if you want. Just make sure you're using a balancing type charger, because that's what's gonna save your day, save your house probably too. So what else is there to know? I mean, tires, generally your RTR tire is going to be fine. If you want to go with something upgraded in the future, you can, but most RTRs don't have enough power to really wear out their tires right away. There really isn't much else to say about it. You know, just get yourself a basic set of battery and a charger, and a good RTR, and a couple of spares. You're going to have a lot of fun, man. And like I said, if you want to go to a track with it, do it. Go there on a practice day. Go there on a Saturday before the race or Sunday when there's nothing going on. And just run it around the track. And then maybe if you like that idea, you can get into racing. It's a natural progression from basher to racer, I think. And you can start out racing and do nothing but racing, but I think you need to bash first, because bashing's a lot of fun, and I think that's most money in RC comes from bashing. I think companies like Traxxas, try and buy a Traxxas kit right now. You can't do it, man. They're out of stock everywhere. We're right in the middle of the coronavirus thing, and they're out of stock. I mean, everybody's at home beating up their Traxxas cars, and I mean, that's what it is. Everybody's bought new kit, I bet, over the last couple months, and they just can't keep up. So, yeah. That's what I think about First RC, Traxxas Stampede, Traxxas Rustler. Rustler's a great platform too. It's a little bit more racier than that, but it gets the job done too. It'll go through the grass, it'll rip around. So anyways, guys, that's what I think about what you should do for your first RC, or if you're buying an RC car for somebody, a hobby grade RC, that's what I would do. So anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. Subscribe if you liked it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.